Bradshaw to Lewis to Bradshaw to Grossman was exciting. But now, with the blonde bomber recuperating, the attack shifted gears. Kruzek kept the ball on the ground as Pittsburgh threw the fewest passes in team history. Still, when play action was called, number 15 could nail Larry Brown from 30 paces. Kruzek was also mobile enough to keep a defense honest with sprint outs and scrambles. Those who predicted doom with Bradshaw out didn't count on a gutsy rookie completing 60% of his passes to receivers like Frank Lewis, T. Bell, and Ernest Pugh. Kruzek came through, but he wasn't the real reason that Pittsburgh was unstoppable again. The offensive line had shouldered a burden. They were bringing Pittsburgh back infantry style. No fancy stuff or pretty faces here. Just the basics by Clack, Cole, Mullins, Davis, Mansfield, and Webster. The ground crew. Their job was to clear a path to the playoffs. The Steeler offense was back on track because each man had a part to play. Pittsburgh rushed for the third highest total yardage in NFL history by following a plan. Center takes nose man. Double team on tackle. Pulling guard kicks end out. Tight end picks off linebacker. Back runs to daylight. A 10-yard gain can be a thing of beauty. And when 10-yard gains pile up, backs follow blockers to victory. This was Rocky Blyer's kind of game, because Blyer's fire is quickness. To the ball and through the hole in a flicker. Once in the secondary, Blyer bleeds yardage. Leaping, diving, sliding for every available inch. Number 20 bled out 1,000 yards in '76, joining a 4-time member of that exclusive club. But if Blyer is Steeler fire, then Franco Harris must be cold steel. Harris is the man defenses fear. He can beat you in so many ways. Franco Harris scored 14 touchdowns as the infantry went rolling down Comeback Road. But along the way, there was the matter of a snowy evening in Cincinnati. The Bengals still led the division by 1 game, but in this surreal setting, neither team could find its way. This was a game that the ground crew could win. Chuck Noll simply asked them for 1 touchdown. With a 7-3 triumph over the Bengals, Pittsburgh stayed in the race and laughed in nature's face.
gotta hand it to your hands. They get more grease and grind than they can stand, but they stay right by your side at your command. You really owe your hands a helping hand.
So lather up with Paraxo, shake hands with Paraxo, come clean with Paraxo, shake hands with Paraxo, lather.
The Mazda RX-7 is a remarkable sports car value. And for people who need a wagon, the Mazda GLC is another remarkable value. You get a versatile split fold-down rear seat, plus responsive performance and better gas mileage than any wagon. All at a price lower than any import wagon, just $43.95. The Mazda GLC wagon.
The more you look, the more you like.
Zilker Park is a popular recreation area which is often crowded on weekends. To help relieve the parking congestion, the City of Austin is offering a free weekend shuttle bus service so that everyone may enjoy all areas of Zilker Park. The shuttle buses will leave every 15 minutes from a special new parking area along Town Lake under the Mopac Bridge. Those who prefer can pay $1 per car to use the south parking lots at the park. You can ride the Zilker Park shuttle for free and help us keep Zilker Park for everyone.
Save as never before during Academy's big summer clearance sale. Choose from thousands of air mattresses or floats, a low $144 and up at Academy. Men's king-size brand shirts, long or short sleeves, only $244 each. Academy has the largest selection of sleeping bags, small, medium, large, and extra large, all at half price. Just received another carload of soft luggage, all at half price at Academy. Wrangler blue jeans, student sizes, and Academy low $9.77 a pair. Heavy-duty plastic trash cans, a special at $244 each. Limit 2, please. 5,000 gallons of Prestone 2, a low $3.44 a gallon. Limit 2 gallons. And Academy has the biggest assortment of Coleman products at big savings. Coleman fuel only $2.44 a gallon. Limit 2, please. For back to school, choose from thousands of pairs of children's jeans and slacks, all at 20% off. Choose from 3,000 pairs of jogging shoes for adults and children. Just $5.
Requires everyone's help. Bobby Walden punted, and also held for Roy Girella as special teams joined the cause. While Girella's contributions paid off in points, other special teamers were sometimes lost in the rush. Joining the chase were reserves Donnie Shell, Marv Kellum, Jim Allen, Jack Delaplane, and Benny Cunningham. Out of this black and gold swarm emerged starters of tomorrow, men like rookie offensive lineman Ray Penny, number 74. But in Pittsburgh, special teams are not just rookies and reserves. Starters like Jack Lambert also become bomb squatters. The term fits Lambert's style nicely. At times, his slender physique seems ill-suited to the pounding he gives and takes, yet no one can hold him down. He is obsessed with his job, demanding perfection from himself and those around him. Jack Lambert leads by word and deed. He was the year's most valuable Steeler. But Steeler defense is not one man. It is time-honored tradition. Pittsburgh fans have always revered their defense, but this was the most frightening yet. Up front, Greenwood, White, Holmes, and Green, with Banaszak and Furness in reserve. At linebacker, Ham, Lambert, Russell, and Taves. In the secondary, Blunt, Thomas, Edwards, and Wagner. A unit without weakness, and the daring to try anything. The multiple blitz, for instance. Send enough men, and Mike Wagner is bound to slip through. Or fake a blitz with Wagner, then swing L.C. Greenwood in on a stunt. If that's too fancy, simply have Joe Green crowd a center, then out-quick him. Pittsburgh defenders took on the rest of the league and won. They led the NFL in 9 categories, 10 if you count aggressive behavior. And so it was that defense joined hands with offense for the long, hard pull into the playoffs. Could anyone stand in the way? Not the New York Giants. They fell 27-0. 1 week later, John Banaszak picked up a San Diego fumble and sent Pittsburgh on the way to a 23-0 whitewash. This brush with glory was called back, but number 76 claimed that it will live forever in the Banaszak Book of Records. Next, Kansas City gained 38 yards rushing, and Pittsburgh picked up a third straight shutout, 45-0. A string of 11 straight scoreless quarters was snapped by Miami, but just barely. The Dolphins fell 14-3, and Tampa Bay was the next shutout victim, 42-0. Against Tampa, a familiar figure returned and restored a link with Glory Pass. Terry Bradshaw was back bombing to Lynn Swann for the first time since Super Bowl X, and the Steelers gave thanks. 8 straight wins with 1 to go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, where the Pittsburgh Steelers take on Houston this afternoon. When the Steelers had played 5 games this year, they had a record of 1 win and 4 losses. Many of their followers around the country and many of them at home figured they had no chance to get into the playoffs and take a shot at a possible 3rd consecutive Super Bowl championship. But they have done a most amazing turnaround.
Guess you'd have to say that the Steelers are a team with a lot of character, because not only did they come back after a terrible start, but they're a big game team, and they're here in a hostile setting, but as Chuck Noll points out, well, they love it that way. It just gets them all the more up. You can't get on their back and expect them to fall apart, because they'll stand in there and just get very sore. To go into a punting situation, I remind you the defense is closing in on its 5th shutout in 9 games. Ooh-wee.
And to give us the Blyer. Here he comes ripping off the left side. Got a blocker, Mullins.
That is some kind of meat grinder that's rolling through the NFL and heading toward the playoffs.
Bradshaw drops back. He throws, and it is caught by Swann. Phantom from USC went into the air to take the football for a Steeler touchdown.
And what a sensational play it was.
And there's nothing but happiness down in that Steeler bench area. Just a great victory, a vital one, and I think a tribute to the Steeler organization. 9 consecutive victories for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and only a total of 28 points given up in that total of 9 ball games.
A moment to savor for Andy Russell in his 13th and final season. An achievement to be cherished by everyone who took part.
I
think that the true test of a championship team, and the whole idea of what a championship team stands for is to be able to do what this team has done, and that's when we were 1-4. And the crucial point in this season, not to throw it to the dogs.
After we started winning, I knew we were going to keep on winning. We get on fire, we get confident, we get that fever, and we're hard to play. I'd hate to have to play against us. Our running game right now is at its peak, and we get a little passing going, and we're going to be hard to beat. Hard to beat.
If you suffer with athlete's foot, you should know what these students helped us confirm here at the University of New Mexico in a major clinical study. Proof that nothing is more effective than Desinex for treatment of athlete's foot. We use students with sore, itching athlete's foot to test Desinex against the two other leading brands. Results? Scientific evidence that short of a prescription, nothing is better than the medicines in Desinex. Nothing. So if you've got athlete's foot, don't blame Desinex.
Rain.
Here's an auto wax made for protection. Car plate.
Snow.
A wax that helps slow down surface rust that starts in nicks and scratches outside your car. Car plate.
Salt.
A wax that slows surface rust better than any other leading wax. Car plate. So get the shine that protects. Get Car plate.
Want to be an international traveler without leaving Austin? The answer is simple. Austin Aqua Festival, August 3rd through 12th. Fest nights take vacationers abroad every night with music, dance, food, and costumes from Czechoslovakia, Germany, Italy, and Mexico, along with the sounds of soul and country western tunes. Located at beautiful Auditorium Shores, each Fest night will be a night to remember.
Come to Aquafest. Come to Austin's Aqua Festival.
This Tuesday and Wednesday night on Channel 7, see the finest in Major League Baseball action from Yankee Stadium in New York. It's the Texas Rangers and world champion New York Yankees. The Rangers are in a desperate race to stay near the top of the American League West, and New York is badly trying to salvage something out of a disappointing season, but they are now playing in baseball's toughest division, the American League East, so there should be some exciting baseball. The Texas Rangers and New York Yankees. Major League Baseball this Tuesday and Wednesday night, and it's all here on Channel 7.
There may be some bad times, but it makes us stronger. We're just getting stronger every day. We are always learning, and we're always growing. We've come a long, long way. Good looking good, America. You're looking good.
The NFL's second season opened in Baltimore with a rematch of the 1975 playoffs. Terry Bradshaw waited 3 plays before breaking the game open. 60 yards downrange, Frank Lewis cradled the ball, and Pittsburgh's masterpiece had begun. Bradshaw threw 2 touchdowns. Harris gained 132 yards, and the ground crew made it happen. Then a hard-earned lead was entrusted to the defense. By the 4th quarter, fresh horses joined the romp as John Fuqua and Reggie Harrison rambled home. Reserves sealed the win. Even the place kicker was new. The old Ranger, Ray Mansfield, scored the first point of his 14-year career and bounded off like a rookie. Pittsburgh had been in the playoffs for 10 weeks now, Just one game remained before a third straight Super Bowl. But victory extracted a stiff price. Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris were hurting. The following week in Oakland, they watched from the sidelines as Super Bowl dreams were put to rest. The year ended as it had begun, with defeat in Oakland. But in many ways, the season had been the most satisfying of all. The season is done, the field overrun. Yet through the swirl I see a brighter sun than prizes won. I was the best I could be. A seasoned story, a quiet glory, remains when all is done. We won our way, the right to say, Steelers champion.
Steelers champion. Not an official title for the 76 Steelers, but certainly a word of which they were worthy in every way. I'm Pat Summerall, and I hope you'll join us when we next present great teams, great years,